Hello everybody, how are you guys doing today? It is I, Rob at Sage Tower Games, and I'm bringing you guys another Pathfinder 2nd Edition class review. This one, another class from the Advanced Player's Guide, is the Investigator. Now, the Investigator is normally a high intelligence based class that normally it has very good skills involving the knowledge checks, and is usually a modification of like a rogue and an alchemist back from Pathfinder 1st edition. So let's see what they did in 2nd. So the first thing, as always, we will be using Archives of Nethys to kind of display the information. It's the best website. If you guys don't use it, I suggest you do use it. Key place for your Pathfinder and Starfinder information. So as I mentioned, they do have a key ability of intelligence, as we suspected. 8 plus con for your hit points. That puts you at a pretty good standard hit points. Not too beefy, but not squishy. Now, expert in perception, which makes sense. Trained in society. A number of skills. You can see right here they are trained in light armor, but not medium. And they have simple and martial weapons. So they're not really a tanky type class, but they can at least be in the front lines if they have to. So the class has one main feature, and that's the strategic strike. When you strike a creature, due to you devising a stratagem, you deal an additional 1d6 precision damage. This goes up at 5th, 9th, 13th, and 17th level, all the way to 5d6. Now, this is an important thing to note, and that is this kind of follows the same progression of sneak attack, except it actually goes up one more. Sneak attack doesn't level up at level 9. This one does. So you can actually do more damage with this. On the case, you get this Pursue a Lead, which basically they had something similar in Starfinder for those that may have played it. It was a theme, and basically you examine a location, a room or something, and if it pertains to your case, you gain a bonus to it. Now, you can do 2 different leads at the same time, and you can use Clue In to basically let your party members also have a chance with this bonus. So what this does is it lets you get a little bit better information on something active. Again, as I mentioned, the Investigator is highly into those knowledge checks. Devise a stratagem, as we mentioned, is up here a key move. So the way this works is you assess a target, you roll a d20. The next attack you make against that creature, you have to use that roll instead of actually rolling. When you do that, you can instead add your intelligence modifier instead of your strength or dex. So that means if you have a high intelligence, which, as you guys remember, is our key ability, meaning that you can do that can help. And if you hit with this, that's when you get that strategic strike damage. So it's a bit better than a sneak attack, as you don't have to set it up. You just have to make sure that you just gotta hope that your roll is decent enough. Methodology. There's different methodologies that we will kind of look at in a bit. And that's kind of your specializations when it comes to investigators. And then feats. More feats. This part, as you guys know, I generally skip over most of it because most classes tend to have a similar progression where they gain feats and they gain proficiencies. One thing here, your proficiency bonus to untrained skill checks to recall knowledge is equal to your level instead of 0, which means that you can definitely, even if you're not trained in it, you have a chance that you might know it. And again, these are the weapon specializations. Here's your investigator expertise at level 9. that bonus you get from pursuing a lead, that becomes a +2. So it makes it even better for you to try and figure things out. This one, deductive improvisation, you can pretty much attempt to check if you one less than what you actually have trained for. So say you trained in expert, you can do a master level check, and you can do, an expert level check if you're only trained in it, and so forth. So it kind of lets you make harder checks that you wouldn't be able to do. And then once again, master detective. It's just kind of a way for a GM to kind of give you some extra information. Basically, if you're pursuing a subject or lead, and you enter a new location that includes a clue towards that mystery, the GM lets you know about it. So say you're following a creature and there's some sort of evidence in that room that might help you, the GM will kind of let you know about it. Methodologies. So these are the specializations. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, the original first edition Pathfinder Investigator was a rogue and alchemist hybrid. And they kind of mimic that with this alchemical science version, which gives you the ability to pretty much make alchemical creations similar to what the alchemist does. In second edition, you have a formula book you can craft, and you can kind of quickly whip up a small little reagent. So if you want to play that traditional first edition Investigator, this is one for you. Empiricism, this actually was another, I believe it was an archetype in first edition, and this is the one where you focus a lot on the numbers, on the data, and you gain, you're trained in intelligence based skill of your choice, and you gain the That's Odd feat, which we can look at later, and you gain the expeditious inspection, which lets you recall knowledge, seek, or sense motive for, I think that's a free action. Forensic medicine. Case in point, if you guys have not played Pathfinder 2nd edition, first, you should definitely make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my video, because I have tons of content. But secondly, every class generally has some sort of medicine type role, because medicine and non-magical healing is such a big part in 2nd edition. So this basically will allow you to be the party healer as well, without sacrificing too much of the rest of your class. And then lastly, interrogation. If you're going to be the face of the party, the one doing all the talking, this gives you training in diplomacy. You get a pointed question ability, which pretty much kind of forces them to answer your question. So if you're going to be the face and doing a lot of the diplomacy checks and talking, that's the one for you. When it comes to feats, now there are a lot of feats, and I'm not going to go through all of them, because if I went through all of them, we would be here for triple the length of the video, and I don't want to do that to you guys. The key points is a lot of these either enhance your abilities, the devising a stratagem, the pursuing a lead, the clue in, or they invalue your points and sharing them, like you have shared stratagem, which allows other people to kind of get flat-footed attacks against the target, and you can kind of share your benefits to other people. So what I'm going to say about the class, the good, bad, ugly, if you will. If you like playing a rogue, but you want the rogue to be a bit more special, you don't want to be the old sneaky, thieves can't, stabby rogue. Maybe you want to be a very knowledgeable person. You like the skill monkey aspect of the rogue. The investigator might be a good choice for you. If you want to be a face, as you can see, you can be the interrogator investigator, and then now you can be the face. Healer, battle medicine. So you see, there's many different ways you can play this character. You have your devising stratagem on strategic strike, which lets you keep up with the damage while still being the knowledge bank, the person that's probably the closest to having their thumb on the story of the game. This also makes this character probably a really good character for a GM PC, because your character is kind of built to have knowledge. So essentially you can kind of feed GM knowledge through this PC, and it's in his abilities. For instance, I'll just show you guys that's odd that we looked at before. Basically, whenever you enter a new room, the GM tells you one thing that's suspicious in the room. And I can tell you guys, from playing this game for some years now, there are some rooms where you can tell people, you can kind of hint, oh, maybe there's something in the desk, or maybe that cabinet looks weird, or maybe there's something hidden underneath that sink. And they just miss it. But this essentially makes you go, that's odd, that's suspicious. And they kind of say, oh, maybe we should check it out. Now, it does make note for this, for anybody reading this paragraph of text. You don't tell them what is there. They still need to go investigate it. It just means something in that room is suspicious. And it doesn't do anything about creatures. So it's more a location-based thing. So that's how that works. The bad about this class. This class may not be the class for you if you want to do a lot of combat stuff. If you like the rogue aspect of being, you know, stabby, hiding in the shadows, coming out, sneak attack, doing all that kind of stuff, stick to a rogue, or maybe even a swashbuckler. I would stay clear of this class. If you like being that strategic mind, Investigator is the one for you guys. So tell me, what do you guys think about the Investigator class? Have you guys made any characters as an Investigator, or have you played in a group that has an Investigator? Let me know how it's been. Let me know what feats you guys liked, what combos you think were cool. Post it down in the comments down below. And don't forget, as always, to like and comment this video, as I'll be coming out with future class review videos, future Pathfinder videos, future gameplay campaign videos, and much, much more. Till next time, guys. See you later.